Yes. Institutional capacity building. وفي نور في شوارع النور شغال. Improve water facilities, operational, install 2 new pump and mapping water distribution lines. Key achievement in the state. Governance. Maintain an stable and secure environment through military dialogue between SSPDF and SPLA-IO force, promoted cooperation, increase security by operationalization, the state public electricity and street lights, reduce crime rates through reduction of gangs, which is negus activities, remove illegal checkpoints to aid free movement and reduce public extension and taxation. Relevant peace and stability maintained in Manyang area. Peaceful cattle migration season through institutionalization of a regulatory mechanism. Resolution of land conflict on progress, Reafe and Brazil. Monthly mapping of security and production area to support government and partners. Intervention. Formation of the State Disaster Risk Management Committee to tackle flood, mobilize it, partners and resources. Capacity building of government institutions, SSPDF, SSNPS, SPLM-IO, and human rights. Here, this picture is the construction of a state election office in Wau Town progress. Access to justice, rule of law. Extended the justice, child and rule of law to Raya County, renovated court and judge house, trained prosecutor, appointed judge. Progress made on the conversion of Wau Central Prison through was written in small letters, convening balance of gas to herd and distributor of vehicle, construction of Mayog agricultural camp, prison, and transfer some inmate and the back of Raja court, and then the Mayog prison. 49 police community relation committees, PCRCS, established, fostering trust between police and community, strengthening capacity of Justice Act and State Human Rights Commission, peace and social cohesion, inputs and view collected on the constitutional making process through CSOS engagement, establish civil society network with clear leadership, youth union, youth parliament, women union, CSOS for inclusive participations. Trust and confidence building between parties of the peace agreement. Enhance peaceful cohesion through 17 peace building activities, formation of state and counties peace committees, and early warning response committees. Peace and social cohesion continue. Successful of Mayardit in the state conflict between the Marial Bai community and Western Barara State and Apuk Kiir Warab State, established partners forum to strengthen collaboration with humanitarian development and peace partners, increase political space for political parties engagement, hosted an annual peace marathon in commemoration of South Sudan 13 independence. Youth and sport. Ms. Lucia Maurice, the standard marathon runner who represents South Sudan in Paris Olympic Games, the last Olympic Games, is one of the top recorded in 100 meters event in product of Western Barbaran State, the Bine Plano. Our girl athletics team won the national athletic competition held in Torit in last October. Economic cluster, agriculture, 100 Honourable R-ARCSS received 1,100 goats and sheep to improve food security and trust, and train 850,000 livelihood in Wau County. Over 3,600 households received agricultural inputs and 1,000 community agricultural demonstration gardens were established. Enhance the capacity of over 5,000 farmers in good agromatic practice, EAP, and post-harvest loss management. Establishes 2 community tree nursery protecting 24,000 tree reversing and fruits in Geta and Busilia. Geta in Gulliver County and then Busilia in Small County. Displacement flood preparedness and mitigation messages to Farm and Blue River County, and Raja County. Service cluster, education, increase school enrollment from 130,000 in 2003 to 149,661 in 2024, increase representative 13% increased. Meanwhile, the number of schools increased from 5,069 in 2023 to 706 in 2024, representing 19.4% increase. 4 permanent school and 138 semi-permanent construction to improve learning environment. Capacity building of 200 teachers to improve effective teaching. Deployed 516 qualified teachers to increase teacher learning ratio. Integrated protection and gender activities in school to promote protection, awareness, and child education. Has three new health facilities were inaugurated: Madagalel Maternity Ward, Wagalelo PHCU, New River County, and Mayango PHCU in Raja. Trained and graduated 11 clinical officers and 1 lab technician and 22 certified nurses and 23 midwives. Numerous individuals and households receive primary health care kits, free malaria treatment, and treated mosquito net. That was all in us. Malaria vaccine integrated into the routine immunization program. And then number 3 is gender, validated prevention of sexual exploitation and abuse, PSEA, deep divide, study and gathering view from stakeholders, mobilize 1,500 dignity kits, form 7 villages saving loan associations group comprised of 210 individual women, build capacity of 1,000 women and girls of various livelihood skills, and supported 20 women, farms to transport production to the market areas. $5,600 community members reached with messages of JBV-based concept and harmful practice, including people with disability, PWDS. 19 social cases, workers, and social workers trained on gender-based violence, cases identified and handling. Update of JVB, referral pathway for Wow, Raja, and New River County, and established 30 child-friendly spaces in 3 counties. Support to retain and reintegration continue. Developing a road map and end displacement in Nivasha and High Masla IDPs site, allocation of 1,285 plots of land to IDPs and returnees, and launch return process in Nivasha and High Masla IDP site. Supported 540 IDPs, 2,144 individuals to return to their place of origin. Provide cash as assistance to 595 returnees and IDPs. Supported 379 fraud affected households with cash assistance. Registered 6,446 Sudanese refugees out of 13. Re-established inclusive state task force for Durban solution and resilience for displaced persons. Increase access to area and border areas to respond and the refugees, returnees in infrastructure. Key strategy challenges in the state: governance, insufficient resources allocated based on disputed census, 4% from the national government. I wish my Minister of Finance here, like Mahmoud. ده واحد من التشالنجز اللي واجه السيد بركز فيه شويه، انه الالوكيشن جرانت اللي بيجي من سنترال جفرمنت لويسترن بنغلاديش ستيت ده اقل ولايه في جنوب السودان، وده مساله مهمه جدا ان احنا نعاني منه من 2012 حتى هسه، لانه الجرانت بتوزع based on and 2008 census, which is disputed by that time. الموجود هناك في عدد من سكان طبعا الولايات المجاورة ما فيه بانتي ووسترن ايكواتوريا هم فيهم عندهم مواطنين موجودين في غرب بحر غزال. لكن لما جاء سانسس الوقت ده عدد من المواطنين مشى سجلوا في مناطقهم الأصلية لكن هم رجعوا ثاني وساكنين where they benefited from the services بتاع السكيورتي والمستشفيات وغيره. ده واحد من المسائل اللي احنا قاعد نعاني منه. نحن واو بنفتكر ان واو ده مدينة كبير بعد جوبا. ونحن عندنا روح انه نجذب الناس المواطنين من كل انحاء السودان حتى من شرق السواحل وجا سكنوا هناك نحن بنكون مبسوطين. لكن نحن دايرين وزارة البحرية برضه يراعي للمسألة دي، لأن ده مسألة مهمة جدا. السكان في واو كثيرين جدا لكن نحن بيعاملونا بالسانسس بتاعت 2008 اللي هو 333 ده عن المواطنين بتاعنا وحسب 526,000 حسب الدراسة بروجيكتور. هذا واحد من المناطق الدائر ده تحدي كبير. زمن المعيش. ده مسألة مهمة نحن قاعد نعاني منه منذ 12 سنة عشان كده لازم نركز عليه. زمن المعيش. Incomplete unification of the forces, delayed demarcation of internal borders, inadequate consultation on constitutions making process to resolve intercommunal conflicts. Capacity gaps for most government officials, insufficient offices, infrastructures, space, furniture, equipment, insufficient resources for the SSNPS to respond security threats, limited telecommunication network, data privacy and cybersecurity challenges. Information that acknowledge conflict between farmers and pastoralists, crops, damages due to floods, past and disease infections, limited access to agricultural inputs, seeds and tools, poor animal health due to ineffective veterinary urine and drugs and vaccines, insufficient government investment limiting economic growth and livelihood opportunities, lack of modern slaughterhouse and it's not posing risk to public health and food safety, poor road conditions across the state, including Timsah area and Firda, Sierra Malaga, Boro Medina, and Balbala. Education, the service also, inadequate clean drinking water in schools, teenager pregnancy and child marriage due to poverty and harmful traditional. Some schools are are occupied by IDPs due to flood and conflict, inadequate displacement, inadequate schools, infrastructures, many under 3 schools, SPLM-IO, handles education services in the area of third present, especially in Wow County. وده بتاع خطير جدا. واو كاونتي يا جماعه السنه ده كاونتي كامل بيمتحن منه 3 طلاب بس، لانه ما في طريقه تطلع لبرا. 3 طلاب دول جبناهم امتحنوا داخل واو. Hence, inadequate supplies and equipment affecting delivery of quality health care, limited access to health care services in hard-to-reach and remote areas. Southwest of WOW has facilities not adequate supply, insufficient ambulance for emergency referrals. Agenda funding shortage, higher in the exposure of GDV services as GDV partners cases operation due to lack of financial support, logistic difficulties, areas in referring JDV cases. JDV services are not available in Raya County. There is no one-stop center in Raya and Guribar County. There is shortage of dignity kits available for the JDV survivors and at-risk women and girls. Legal services are insufficient, particularly in Guribar and Raya County. Return and reintegration challenges. The crisis in Sudan has resulted in the arrival of more than 30,800 refugees and over 40.6 returnees individuals into the state. The Myanmar conflict has caused the displacement of 35,000.9 internally displaced persons. Recent flooding has impacted population of 28.7. In general, there is insufficient assistance available for the displaced population. Limited accessibility of to Raya and difficult to reach border regions in handling the response to the inflows of the refugees and returnees. Recommendation of how to address issues and challenges noted in 1 to 3 above. Governance, collaborate across various groups to tackle challenges related to governance and the rule of law. ensure a thorough consultative approach in the Constitution's drafting process to mitigate inter-communal tensions. Swiftly address the Mayang conflict, enhance resources distributed Western Bangladesh State to meet the requirement which the social construction for the adjusting allocation, special consideration for the adjusting allocation. Bolster the skills of public officials through training and development initiative, enhance community security by curbing gangs, which is related activities, economic cities involvement and active participation in the government matters. Boost the collection of the resources of allocation of the resources of SSTSN in order to address security challenges, improve data confidentiality and cybersecurity in concert with the National Communication Authority, encourage good behavior and interviews involvement in gangs activities, negus, linking mobile network to areas lacking services, education, construct additional secondary school in counties to enhance the accessibility of education, expand training opportunities for the teachers, head teachers, expansion training opportunities for the teachers, head teachers, inspectors, and supervisors. Develop more permanent school facilities to replace much schools under tree. Hence, provision of more support and equipment, provision of more ambulance for the referrals, including AVV survivors, construction of health facilities in remote to hard areas, increase health care coverage across the state, provision of four-wheel drive vehicle to aid ABV cases, referral and transport of the ABV survivors. More resources needed to be served up ABV received to other parts of the state, other parts of the state. One stop center in Raja County due to its distance and road condition. construction of institute, mobile core, and mobile JBV response services for the New River and Raya County. Dignity kits to restore the dignity of women and girls, increase health care coverage across the state. Economic development, rehabilitation of the feeder roads and bridge to connect production to the market areas, support to flood effective communities, timely release of grants and timely release of grants and transfer the state, improves revenue collection for better resources allocation, expansion of telecommunication network coverage across the state, agriculture, commercialize of the agriculture through cooperatives and modern agricultural equipment, improve access to agricultural mechanization, post-harvest management and small to medium agro processing. Introducing protection of flood, bronze area to educate, to reduce food insecurity. Lastly, Western Baha'i State government with the support from the NGOs who are working with us, partners there, UNDP and OSHA, IOM, and World Food Program, UNICEF, UNFPA, and UNMIS. Also there is some organization who are working there supporting the government in so many areas. Thank you so much for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, discussion. 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 Western Equatoria will present tomorrow. So let us do discussion. The issues are similar. Hey, Mahanyuk.
شكرا جزيلا فقام جناب الاول لرئيس الجمهوريه كان عنده فرصه قبل لا يبدا تعليقي في تغيير منطقه العربيه كنا ما كانوا فيه امبارح فطلبت مننا انه لازم يكون في بعض التعليقات. انا اعلق على طلب اهتمام الاستفتاء القانون النسائي من الزول اللي قدم تقريره نائب رئيس الإدارية. في رأيي طبعا المنبر ما مؤهل انه يحتمل هذا القرار لأسباب كثيرة. السبب الأولى انه هذا قرار يحتاج قرار سياسي بين بلدين بموجب طلع جنوب السودان أبي كان واحد من البروتوكولات اتفاقية السلام الشامل، ولكن الطرفين في ذلك الوقت المؤتمر الوطني الحاكم في السودان في ذلك الوقت والشريك الحركة الشعبية لتحرير السودان فشلوا في تضامن الاستفتاء دولة جنوب السودان مع استفتاء منطقة العربية. فدي كان فشل حقيقي بالنسبة للطرفين في تنفيذ اتفاقية السلام الشامل. أي منطقة حدودية بيننا والسودان. الآن الوضع السياسي في السودان في رأيي أعتقد إنه ما جاهز لمناقشة مسألة المشكلة الحقيقية لظروف المعلوم. لذلك أنا أعتقد في رأيي الشخصي إنه اعتماد هذا المنبر أو يذكر إنه أي كلام عن إنه يعيد الاستفتاء القانون الجماعي بيكون المنبر ما صالح لهذا القرار في رأيي الشخصي. النقطة الثانية فخامة النائب الأول لرئيس الجمهورية يمكن وردت للتغيير زميلي حاكم بحيرات يتكلم في موضوع تتعلق بتأخير مرتبات العاملين بالدولة. دي موضوع خطير جدا بالنسبة لنا كحكام، لأنه أننا الحكام أننا يا الناس القاعدين مع جراس روت، فكل وقت ما عندنا إجابة شافية لهذا الموضوع، رغم أنه نعرف أنه في ظروف حقيقية يعني تتعلق بهذا الموضوع. مثلا الحرب في السودان وقف تماما تسيير كورونا عبر السودان، ولكن فقام النائب الأول هذا الموضوع يحتاج حل سريع، لأنه إذا فكرنا خدمة مدنية الآن ما بزول في الولايات، رغم في إنه ممكن يكون شغال مع حكومة، لسبب بسيط لأنه الحكومة ما بيصرف، فما بزول لقدام الحكومة ما بيلقى عمال هيشتغل معاهم. كذلك فقام النائب الأول موضوع المرتبات ده موضوع عندها صفة قانونية أيضا، لأن الموظف أو العامل بيعمل كونتراكت مع حكومة، لازم عندهم كونتراكت على شغل، إنه أنا هشتغل للدولة هشتغل للحكومة وحكومة يعني شارع هيجيني مطابق. دي ما موجود، دي هيساعد في انتشار الفساد سيد النائب الأول، لأنه الزول الشغال ده قاعد في المكتب لو ما بيصرف قروش كيف ما يفسد؟ هيكون فاسد لأنه ما عنده مقابل الكلمة بتاعه، هيبقى عن البدائل ده ذات في نسبة الجريمة في الولايات، إنه الموظفين بتاع الحكومة ما بيصرفوا، فببعث البدائل أخرى حتى لو بقى بدائل غير مشروع في إنه كيف يعيشوا مع أبنائهم في بيوتهم. لذلك دي مسألة يعني مهمة وأضيف صوتي لزميلي إنه محتاج حل سريع وتدخل سريع من الحكومة الاتحادية، وتفصل في شخصكم وفي شخص فقامة رئيس الجمهورية ونواب الرئيس ومجلس الوزراء. آخر موضوع بتاع TIT Your Excellency كولايات التي لو شانوا لنا عننا عن نفس الولايات لأنه أنت ما حتكون عندك قدرة في محاولة أن ترسل بوليس ساكت للمهيل ما حتكون عندك قدرة عشان تشيل هو مثلا يعني جماعة من الجيش ترسلهم مهيل فيه مشكلة لأن كل الميدان ده نفس المشاكل لذلك أنا لما تم تعييني في يوم 29 شهر 5 مشيت ولاية الكلام عن الجلسات بتاع مجلس الوزراء الكلام عن المجلس التشريعي في الولاية الكلام عن الاجتماعات بتاع اللجان الأمنية في الولاية في كان صعوبة حقيقية سيد النائب الأول مثال جملاتي جملة أول ما جيت لقيت المجلس كله أعضاء المجلس التشريعي كله في جوبا الحمد لله إن الإشارة بتجيبك ساعتين بتقعد في جوبا التقيت برئيس المجلس سألت عليه يا أخي الناس دي عندهم 7 شهور ما عندهم المونمنت بتاع ما بيجيبوا لهم فكيف هيواصلوا؟ هم بيجي بس عشان يعني يتبرع بانفسهم بيجي يقعدوا لكن انا ما بقدر زول بيمشي جوبا بيقول لي ما اشتري شغل لاولادي من زول قريبين هناك ممكن القى لي قروش كذلك مجلس الوزراء كيف تكون انت وزير وانت تقعد 7 شهور ما تصرف وعندك اولاد وعندك التزامات يعني اسري بتتعلق باسرتك فقامت النائب الاول لرئيس الجمهوريه هذا الموضوع خلى الحكومه تكون ما عندها هيبه في الولايات عشان تكون انا وزير في الولايه ناس بيشوفوك يا كده كلام يا كده زي زول قال انا زول بتاع كوره بس في الله لانه عارفين انك انت ما ممكن تجيب لزول شيء لذلك عندنا في ولايه جنجله لما جينا انه التي اي تي ده قاعد نلقاه من المنظمات البسيطه نسير منه دولار العمل في الحكومه في الولايه خصصنا حافز له لمجلس الوزراء خصصنا حافز للمجلس التشريعي خصصنا حافز كذلك للمفوضيات والاعضاء المفوضيات لذلك في خلال 6 شهور وصلنا ل 13 اجتماع مجلس الوزراء و6 اجتماع للجنة الأمني لأنه بقى في استقرار بالنسبة للناس في الولاية بيجي البي اي تي بيجي زول الحافز بتاعه بيقدر يوفر الحاجات البسيطة لأسرته فلو بقى ما في مثلا معناه المجلس الوزراء تاني ما هيشتغل مجلس التشريعي ما هيشتغل هيكون والد قاعد هناك براهم فلذلك في ضرورة انه لو الوضع الاقتصادي ما مستمر ما المفروض كل الحكومة قاعدة يفكر في هذا الموضوع فده ممكن تتعلق بهذا الموضوع كلام عن في عرب زميلي قالوا انه من الرويل هو قبل كلام ده انا داير داخل الموضوع الثاني فقامت النائب الاول لرئيس الجمهوريه سمينا تقريرين في واراب ورويل واراب سكانه 2 مليون حسب التقرير القدم رويل سكانه 300 رويل عنده 8 مقاطعات وواراب عنده 7 مقاطعات 6 ده يعطوا معيار طيب كيف تقدم خدمات للناس ديل انه تساوي زول عنده 2 مليون عنده 6 مقاطع وتديه خدمات بتاع محافظين بتاع 6 محافظين وتدي زول عنده 8 وعنده 300 خدمات بتاع 8 محافظين ده يحتاج مراجعة أنا لكن ما كنت أعرف إنه هل الثمانية مقاطعات ده من ضمن 79 أم لا؟ لأنه توزيع الخدمات بيتوقف يعني بيعملوا حسب الناس انت توزع خدمات الاساس للناس حسب حجمهم وعددهم. فكيف الناس بسيط مثلا لانه مثلا الاداري مثلا في هذا المستوى في مثلا في البيبور في ويندين كونتي معناها يكون عنده مقاطعه، لكن في بيبور بالنسبه لي يعني مفهوم لانها تنتهي مع القضيه عدد على اتفاق السلام مثلا. ده موضوع برضه محتاج حل، وانا شايف انه في
روان فوق ويندين كاونتي رسميا.
رسميا.
Yes, 79 counties too.
Okay. So the debate تغيير كانوا 8.
التمرين تمام.
Alright. Okay. طيب الموضوع قبل الأخير فقامة النائب الأول لرئيس الجمهورية. إنه لو لاحظت تقارير الجدد من كل الولاء لأي بعد عن زيارات يعني دول بكل رسول كده ده أشيمن. فما ممكن الانجازات ما بكون زيارة لأنه الوالي من بعد السنين يعني داير يزور مناطق بتاعه. لأنه أنا والي الجمهورية لازم أزور مناطقين. فده ممكن يكون بس في إطار بتاع نشرة السلام، لكن في سبب من الناس كلها بيقولوا كده، في سببين. الأولى إنه بتكون قاعد في ولاية ما عندها أكسس للميلاد بإيدك. ده برجع للطرق ما في طريق. لأنه ولايتك مربوطة يعني الزيارة عشان أنت مشيت لمنطقة ما بيبقى إنجاز. بيبقى في عملك الرسمي كوالي لولاية معينة. وتذكر جبال في بعض التقارير انه في جزء من المقاطعات ممكن ما ظهروا قبل في بلاد ويدا، ثاني ديار ممكن ما ظهروا قبل الاستقلال. ده برضه مشكله كبيره جدا بواجه الحكام. النقطه الثانيه في هذا الموضوع فقامت النائب الاول لرئيس الجمهوريه هي تكاليف انك انت يعني تبقى عينك الليله بعد 6 شهور تكون برا مثلا، فالبيجي واحد بيكون جديد بيبدا تاني ده يعمل زيارات تاني يكملها تاني 6 شهور زياره. يعني تخيل يكرر لما نيجي يشيلوا برا بيكون كلهم لليومين ولا 3 كانوا بس في زيارات. فدائما الاستقرار في الموقع الوظيفي يساعد في تخطيط وتنفيذ مشاريع مخطط من قبل الحكومه المعنيه. هذا بيساعد في الفساد برضه. لأنه كل زول لو أنت بس بتشوف تلفزيون ممكن أشيلني بعدين، معناه أنت زاد ما حتكون يعني ما بتكون عندك الاستقرار النسبي، وده ممكن يتحل في إطار بتاع الانتخابات القادم عشان كل زول يلقى يعني ولايته. مثلا الدستور يتكلم عن 5 سنوات، إذا كان والي في 5 سنوات تستمر. ده ممكن يكون ده الطريقة الوحيدة اللي أنا شايفه ممكن نخلي زول يعني يفرح انك انت تشرح في خطتك بالصوره التي يمكن ان تقدم به منطقه له ولايه بتاعك. الموضوع في نفس الموضوع الناس اللي بيطوروا برضه في الحكام. بعض الحكام بيقعدوا سنين طويله مش عشان هم دايرينه، لكن برضه بطرق اخر بيجاروا ان يثبت نفسه في السوق برضه في تاثير سلبي. يعني زول مثلا قاعد 10 سنه ولا 15 سنه في نفس المكان. فوجوده برضه في هذا الموضوع ما بيكون عشان في رؤيه محدده عايز يقدمه، ولكن ممكن يبقى نتيجه لانه هو قادر يدير هذا المرحله بالطريقه اللي يجعلها يبقى في هذا المكان الى فتره طويله. ده القضايا اللي بنشوفهم، ده القضايا يحتاج حل، وخاصة لما يكون في انتخابات عشان الناس يكون في تيرم ليميتس لكل مكتب. لذلك نحن نتمنى ان ربنا يوصل الناس لمرحلة الانتخابات القادم وكل الناس ينافسوا ويفوز الدور الفائز، والشاكر على اتخاذ الفرصة. والسلام عليكم.
Yes. First Deputy Speaker, National Assembly. Yes, you can come this way.
so much, Your Excellency, First Vice President, the Vice President of the Republic, Right Honourable Speaker, Council of States, Ministers, Excellencies, Governors, all the state delegates to this forum. I would like to applaud the discussion, especially the presentation that came from the governors. I'm going to make my contribution or my input from the background of my institution, the National Assembly. Our role, as you know, are basically three: to represent the citizen of the Republic of South Sudan, to enact laws that supports government functions and actions, and to oversee the executive. These are our functions at the national level. And on this note, Your Excellencies, the government at the state levels, just like at the national level, having three pillars, the government at the state levels, we expect them also to function with the three pillars: the executive, the assembly, which is the legislature at that level, and the judiciary. From the presentation I've noticed, we seem to have incomplete structures in most of the states. The overarching pillar of government appears to be the executive, where the governor is the head. Of course, we have the speakers of the assemblies, but their functions, or the function of that institution, has not featured vividly in the presentation. There is a general admission that the judiciary is almost non-existent at the state, exemplified by the lack of judges that's featured in the presentation very clearly. That means the arm of government, which is the judiciary, at the state level, is dysfunctional. We could be using traditional mechanisms to resolve conflict or adjudicate on matters. As we know, traditional authorities, they are preoccupied to the use of customary laws. What about criminal laws? Who implements them? For instance, crimes committed by individuals. You have also made in your presentations that your cells, your detention centers are full. The judges are not there to try them. Others have murdered, they have been stolen, and so on, or raped, and so on. So this is a very serious gap and loopholes from the presentation that I've seen.
I would like to speak about the lack of salaries. Every year, Your Excellencies, we pass the national budget with all the chapters. I would like to draw your attention to the 2023-2024 budget. And I would like to highlight to Your Excellencies that the 2023-2024 budget did not fail. You will be surprised why I'm saying so. From the data we have and the data presented to us by the Ministry of Finance and by the relevant institutions, including the National Revenue Authority, including the Ministry of Petroleum, charged with the production of petroleum resources, accruing petroleum revenue, and the National Revenue Authority charged with the collections of non-oil revenue. These institutions, according to the budget 2023-2024, they did their best. The budget which was passed, which was 1.7 trillion SSP, realized an outturn of 2.1 trillion. This is the effect of the data that was presented to us in the National Assembly, presented to us in the quarterly reports. Now the question that comes, where is salary? If there was an outturn of 2.1 trillion, if I go to break down what accrued from the oil revenue, it was projected that from the oil revenue in that year, we shall receive 1.5 trillion. But the outturn became 1.8 trillion. That means there was a surplus of over 358 billion. The non-oil revenue, the projection which was 245 billion, the outturn was 238 billion, meaning the collection did not achieve its target. From 245, which was projected, we realized 238 billion. This was the performance of the revenue, how it was collected under the oil revenue and the non-oil revenue. We were also informed in the budget that actually some of the states overspent their budget. I'm happy that the Minister of Finance may join us tomorrow. You will ask and inquire for clarification. What we were informed in the budget was that we had at least 21 government ministries and institutions overspending beyond their approved budget of 2023-2024. And the Ministry of Finance was on top of the culprits. the Ministry of Finance overspent its budget by 3,860%. That was the over-expenditure in the Ministry of Finance. And at least 7 states and 3 administrative areas, we only have 3 of them, 3 administrative areas and 7 states overspend beyond their approved budget. At least 9 government ministries and institutions spend within their approved budget. At least 34 government ministries and institutions were deprived of resources, thus underspend their budget. At least 3 states spend within their approved budget. This is the data that you need to know, which was presented to the National Assembly, actually to the National Legislature during the budget discussion. Now, if there was an outturn in the 2023-2024 budget to the tune of 2.1 trillion, where is the salaries? The answer we found was that the over-expenditures by some ministries and government institutions is to blame. What was due for salaries went in the over-expenditures. And the Ministry of Finance is on top of that. That means there are those institutions, even knowing that they have already exhausted their budget, they will still go to bother the Ministry of Finance. Either they go there directly, or they go there by other routes. Lobbies, bluffs, threats. You know that ministry, the ministers, as you know also, they don't take long. And also to some extent, from what is being talked about, the ministers cannot take long. And they also say it is not the president who removes them. It is not the president who removes them. It is us, those who remove these ministers, they are among us. The president he has only signatures. But those who are behind the removal of these ministers, the Minister of Finance, are actually among the politicians, among the government, ministers also. There are men in uniform, and so on. They influence these people to be removed, especially if they want to stick probably to budget discipline. They are not given any chance to do so. They are victims, actually. I want to speak on their behalf to that effect. So, how do we tackle this? The answers are all with us. And now we spill the problem. Let us not blame the budget, no money and there's money, because in the last year budget, there was money and there was an outturn. Now we have passed another budget with ambitious programs and plans that it will also succeed. But should it fail, it would fail because of what I'm talking about. So, Your Excellencies, I'm happy that this forum sits on our population. Our population are with you. Those who come to Juba, they are politicians, businessmen, and so on. But the real population of South Sudan, they are in the countryside. And you are the one who sits on them. So your recommendation must help us, even within your parties. This thing, Ajama, Al-Jama Baruf Zone. All of us can be hungry or can be satisfied. If we want solution, within your party you speak. Within SOA you speak. Within which party, SPLM, you speak. So that we can fix the problem once and for all. Nobody should be allowed to play with public funds. Within our parties and within the government. This one must be very clear. Anybody playing with public funds must be held accountable. Because I'm sure none of our manifestos have prescribed that you shall be corrupt. You shall take what belongs to the public and do whatever you want with it. None of our manifestos talk about this. So if it is true, then we must begin serious business so that our budget can succeed. That is to answer the question of where is salaries, why is not being paid, and so on. We have enough money, even the president has said so. The ministers of finance, when they come with the records, they will also tell us the same. Petroleum tell us the same. Petroleum that was affected was the Dar blend. The Nile blend was functional, has been functioning up to date, functioning. The only threat we have is the floods. The floods which are threatening it. Though, of course, we have to manage our relations with our brothers in the north so that these facilities are not disturbed. And we also anticipate that there will be resumption which will at least boost the resource envelope. This is on the aspect of the economy and the national budget. Taban, you get 10%. You complain that you get 10%. Your Excellencies, the system of government is decentralized. You read your schedules, Schedule A, Schedule B, Schedule C, and those powers. But the real gist of the matter is the decentralized system. At the state level, you are at the mercy of the center. You can either be given powers or, depending on the situation. If the situation is good, or was good, like when we were doing the CPA, the states at certain point they had enough powers. Even some states like Eastern Equatoria were paying their civil servants and running their businesses without looking at the national level. But when the situation started deteriorating, the center took what belongs to it. Because the state was just enjoying these privileges. I'm happy that there is National Constitutional Review Commission, and in the peace agreement there is discussion and adoption of the federal system. That is where you resolve this problem. As of now, you cooperate with the center, negotiate with the center. If it is increased to you beyond 10%, alhamdulillah. If not, also alhamdulillah. This is what I can say about the 10% being given to the states. About the land policy, I want to say something. It is already in the National Assembly. We are going to discuss it. But what I want to tell you, if you want to answer the question of land grab, especially in towns and cities, including Juba, Juba must be designated with its boundaries, known to everybody. And the management of that land, which is designated as capital city, must be very clear and must be very transparent. But if you leave it in this form, if I may ask, where is the boundary of Juba, capital city? Where is it? Where is the boundary? Okay, but if you leave it like this, Juba will expand, everybody is going to city, they will come and demand for land. The most important thing, we need the state capitals demarcated, gazetted. Everybody has a right to settle there. The capital city, demarcated, gazetted, everybody has a right to settle there, provided you acquire the land legally within that or within the law. When they say land belongs to the people, all of us are people. The people of Eastern Equatoria have land, the people of Central Equatoria have land, the people of Unity State have land. Should there be somebody who leaves his territory, his place, to go and occupy another person's place or grab it even, that is the cause of the problem. And as a government, we must find a way of resolving this. The land policy is there. There will be public hearing. Also, the act will be amended. This is what I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Deputy Chief Administrator.
Your Excellency, thank you for this opportunity. I will be having 3 points, and the first one I would like to react to the statement from His Excellency the Governor of Jonglei State. Of course, I don't understand Arabic very well, but I think I got something. When he was referring to the endorsement of Abiy community referendum now is not ideal because Sudan is at war.
Why don't you listen first to the rest?
All right,
Rather than
okay.
listening to one person and you want to react to it.
Okay, then that's fine. I will wait if there are more comments that will come to
We will give you a chance on that later.
Thank you.
Warab, the governor, all this Upper Nile, sorry.
شكرا سيد نائب الأول رئيس الجمهورية. أنا في كلام بتاع زول بتاع روه هو قد بيل يتكلم عن ونكو لكن بسموه ويتبنيكان. أنا داير أذكر إنه لما نجي في ميلاد زي ده أجاد المربوط بالحدود لازم نقيف منه لأنه ده بزيد المرارات لأنه ده بسبب ويتبنيكو وناس علينين بسبب ويتبنيكان ده بيجيب نزاع بين الناس عشان كده نحن قلنا يومتها إحنا أجاد ديل نخلوه لترسيب الحدود لأن ما ترسيب الحدود يجي لو عادة ده بيجي بتاروه بعد ده نتكلم فوق لو بيجي بتعلنين بعد ده العلنين لسبب ويتبنيك عن زي ما هم مسمين فأنا قاعد أسمع كلام ده كتير في كل منابر وأنا داير إنه دور الجاي خلوا كلام ده لترسيم الحدود كلام العربات الجبال وهو بيتكلم فوق هو ما كان إنه رئيس بتاع إدارية زول اللي كان قبله كان بضرب لنا تلفونات وكان بيتكلم معنا وعندنا اتفاق معين وصلنا فوقه بكلام العربات حاكم بتاع جنجولة ما هي المام بالأصل في ويت بنيكال أو ما يسموه ويت بنيكو من هندو قبل أنا داير أذكر حتى ده كان أصل مشاكل ومشكلة ما بيحلوا المشكلة لا زال وصلوا بين رئيس الإدارية سابقا لنائب الأول وناس في بروسيس بتاع الحل. فما مفروض جاجات زي ديل يجي يتكلموا في منابر زي ده. لأننا نشوف له وقت ونجي نقعد ونهله كيف وننتهي منه كيف. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا نائب رئيس الأول. أنا في تشيك بوينتس كان في governance forum الفاتت كان ريزولف التشيك بوينت يشيلوا برا. تم تنفيذه في بعض الولايات وإداريات لكن في بعض الولايات ما تم التنفيذ بدون فوق. عملية ده ما بكون إنه governance برام نائب الأول. Chief of Defense Forces, SSPDF, and Inspector General of the Police, National Police Forces, Director General of the Internal Security Bureau, and Chief Military Intelligence. Because checkpoints are being managed by Jamadil. Baram and Masulia, but our governors, county commissioners. أنا بسافر بعربية. يمكن أنا سافرت منيني جوبا حتى أرويو. تشيك بوينت موجودين في سنترال إكواتوريا. تشيك بوينت موجودين في وراب ستيت. تشيك بوينت موجودين في وسترن بارغازال. وفي نورثرن بارغازال. كان دارنا نشيل أجاديل. Kalina Jay Bardo Kuno Mojudin. Because checkpoint Babda Makati with Dubani, the transport company, but for Bruce, Leroy Kubarda, Mushil Convoy, Asaka. But for Bardo, to pull checkpoints, Dalaman Donchibu. The checkpoint, if you will attain, well, if it's a lot of Wilayat, Alua Warab, Western Barghazal, Northern Barghazal, no finance victim folk, the Nas Batar Lake State. Because Muslim Tijar Batana Devta Bagar, Memshi Bijibu Bagar, Menawil, Memshi Bib Bagar in Bentin, Bumuru by checkpoints del Kul, but for Bruj Atajubaina. Live example, Fiwarat. يمكن ده إضافة لعديلة قبل نائب رئيس تعبان قدموا لقابنا بتاع وراب. عندنا تشيك بوينت في مقاج كرتيب، عندنا تشيك بوينت في كوبري بتاع توي، عندنا تشيك بوينت في الويلا كوب بتاع ماشي واو. With the Lamashi Romic, we checkpoint for Romic, we checkpoint in Nabagok, we checkpoint for Woodlit, we checkpoint for Git, we checkpoint for Maburiar, we checkpoint for Malalamo, we checkpoint for Uricholakon. If you get ration peace, Le Bagar. Bagar why? The checkpoint of Pulu, with a registration peace, with a pass permit, with an auction. This is terrible. For the Zumula governors, Anna Yana Buguloke, Kande au Masala, then to the Batal Mamu Marabardu. Munkanam Riban. Because Atual, Malita Tamur Fogo